What is up, guys? Welcome back to my What If series. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Gaara getting the Sharingan. In this series, Gaara is going to be born in Konoha into Shizui's family, making him Shizui's younger brother. Gaara would grow up with Earth Release, Wind Release, and Lightning Release as usual, but he'd also get an Uchiha perk, Fire Release, during his childhood. He's also going to feel loved by his family, just like Sasuke, but he'd soon feel a void. Shukaku would end up getting sealed into Kankuro, who will not be able to control the beast, and after attacking the leaf, it will get extracted, and the beast is going to be put inside a Gaara by Fugaku, under request by Gaara and Shizui's parents. The Uchiha still get pushed to the edge of Konoha, causing Fugaku to start the coup d'etat. This leads to Shizui and Itachi trying to stop it as normal, but again failing. Shizui gets chased by Danzo and he's going to have the Sharingan taken again. During this time, Gaara's going to be studying at the academy, so he wasn't able to help his big bro. Shizui is going to give Itachi his other eye as normal, but he's going to ask Itachi to look after Gaara. Gaara would find out about Shizui's death and unlock the first Tomo Sharingan. When time comes for Obito to recruit Itachi and carry out the Uchiha massacre, Itachi would not only spare Sasuke, but he's going to keep his promise to Shizui and he's going to spare Gaara. Upon return home with Sasuke, they would both go to their respective homes and Itachi would put them both under Genjutsu. This would leave Gaara enraged, destroying what was left of the Uchiha land, hell-bent on trying to kill Obito and Itachi, while Sasuke, stunned, sits and watches in battle. Itachi would tell Obito he can handle this and tell him to go on ahead while he tries to control the beast. Itachi would put on Amaterasu to keep Gaara in his sand shield, and buy Itachi enough time to run away and catch up with the Akatsuki. After the entire clan is wiped out, Itachi is gone, Gaara is gonna unlock his second Tomo, and Sasuke is gonna gain his first. Sasuke and Naruto's story would remain relatively the same, except Gaara would train off and on with Sasuke until the Chunin exams, where Gaara would join Hinata's team with Kiba and Hinata. And Shino would actually join the Akatsuki at a young age, and he's just going to become a killing machine on the Akatsuki. In the meantime, since he's just a side character. So Gaara would train under Team Kurenai in Genjutsu, fire release techniques since he's an Uchiha, until Kurenai learns Gaara has a strong earth release allowing him to control sand. This is where Gaara would adopt his gourd. Kurenai would learn from Kakashi and Jiraiya that the Akatsuki are looking for Gaara, which would prompt her to ask Hiruzen to send Gaara to the Sand Village to train under the 4th Kazekage Rasa, which Hiruzen would grant for some time. During this arc, he'd gain a bit of a bond with Rasa and a strong love for the village, the Sand Village. He'd learn to control sand and hone his skills via mastering sand burials and his sand shield. This is going to cause Gaara to become a force to become reckoned with during the Chunin exams, where he now will have Shukaku, sand manipulation, and Uchiha genetics. Gaara will get all of the normal techniques that he normally does, but he'll be able to use Fireball Jutsu and eventually Giant Fireball technique on top of that. Gaara would now be skilled enough to use his sand to block opponents' attacks while sending fireballs at his opponents, and for stronger opponents, he would use his normal sand shield, except with a slight twist. Gaara's going to be using his normal sand eye from the outside to track the opponents, while using small holes in his sand shield to send fireballs out at his opponents. This is going to cause people like Rock Lee and Sasuke to have a harder time fighting him in the Chunin exams. And speaking of Chunin exams, the way we're going to fix the Sand Village team is, if you guys remember, there's someone from later on in Shippuden during the second wave of Chunin exams arc with Tamari as a proctor named Sajin. And he is going to actually join the Sand Village team as a much younger Genin, but his teammates Kankuro and Tamari would basically carry him. In this timeline, Gaara is going to have met Sajin during his time in the Sand Village with Rasa. He's going to have remembered him wanting to train with Rasa only to get shut down. Gaara, feeling a bit bad for the kid, would train him everything that Rasa taught Gaara. So, if you knew of this lesser known character, it should be no surprise Sajin would end up on a different team now, allowing him to make the cut while fixing a plot hole, because he kind of got fucked over in the original timeline by not having a third teammate and getting kicked out, so that sucks, man. Yeah, Tamari told his ass off. Gaara would fight against Neji in his final battle, while Naruto beats Neji. Naruto has a better-tailed beast, better regeneration, and Naruto fought an earlier version of Neji. So this Neji is going to have been training diligently and hard like Rock Lee since Naruto had beaten Neji. Neji will also have just enough speed to damage Gaara's shield like Sasuke can. And once Neji does this, his 8 trigram seal and gentle fist is going to be too much for Gaara even with the Sharingan. Gaara is going to have to call back and call upon Shikaku for protection and chakra. Gaara is going to let Shikaku take over with one of Shikaku's normal eyes and with a Sharingan eye active. This leads to the village trying to stop damage from the One-Tails while Hiruzen and Orochimaru both fight. Sasuke is wanting absolutely zero smoke with Gaara at this point, knowing how strong he is, growing up with him, and knowing Gaara can produce more fireballs than himself, although Sasuke can control his chakra better, allowing him to make bigger fireballs at this time. Naruto would fight with Gaara again, except he would go into 4-tail Kyuubi mode, which would awaken Gaara, but instead of immediately headbutting Gaara, they're gonna fight for some time again, with Naruto in 1-tail cloak form easily beating Gaara without Shikaku's full power. This leads to Naruto taking way more damage, as Gaara puts up more of a fight where Naruto Rasengans Gaara, leading to the end of the fight and Gaara becoming Naruto's allied rival. Jiraiya will also seal Kurama's chakra now instead of after fighting Orochimaru. When Naruto finally fights Orochimaru, he's going to use the forbidden multi-shadow clone technique to catch Orochimaru off guard and use Rasengans, leading to Orochimaru going into his second snake form and running away hiding. Gaara would eventually meet Kakashi via Sasuke, and he would actually train in the Chidori, but this would prove to be difficult, and although he would learn the technique, he would master it enough to infuse it into his hands and not his ninja tools or swords or anything like that. And once Kakashi figures out he's not really a good fit to be a teacher to Gaara, not only that, there's nothing he could really teach him. He actually recommends Gaara to go and train with Asuma in Wind Style. And the reason that he would do this is after seeing Gaara's sand buckshot technique, he would actually want him to train in Wind Style with Asuma, learning to infuse chakra not only outside of his body, but creating chakra blades and learning to infuse chakra into his ninja tools, Gaara would train with Asuma every once in a while, up until Asuma's eventual death in Shippuden, where Gaara would gain his third Tomo. Asuma would die the normal way, dying to Hidan, and Gaara would join Team 10 in taking Hidan down. But he would actually be a major hindrance in the beginning, because Gaara unknowingly would attack Hidan out of rage, and without knowledge of Hidan's immortality, wasting a little bit of chakra he uses in the beginning, he'd activate his Sharingan and sand under Shikamaru's orders, and he would trap Hidan, finally allowing Ino to mind transfer jutsu so that Hidan can't launch attacks, while Shikamaru effectively shadow possession jutsus Hidan, and Choji is gonna slam him into the ground, while Gaara traps him in a hardened sand coffin so that Hidan cannot get out. This leads to Gaara seeing teamwork for the first time with his own eyes, giving him new perspective. He would train alongside Kiba and Hinata now diligently, using his sand to protect not only himself, but the entire team, and they'd effectively ace all of their missions in the Shippuden era. After Asuma's death, Gaara would go with Sasuke and Orochimaru to Ryuchi Cave, where Gaara would meet Aoda the Snake, but he'd actually get laughed off and dismissed by Aoda, while the White Snake Sage would actually disagree with Aoda. Gaara would train for months under the White Snake Sage, unsuccessfully for a long time, eventually giving up and going back with Orochimaru and Sasuke, ending up at Orochimaru's lab. Why am I fucking up the name, dude? Gaara would meet Kabuto for the second time since the exams, and would learn of his Sage Mode. He'd ask Kabuto for help unlocking his own Sage Mode. After a few weeks of training, Gaara would finally unlock Sage Mode, allowing him to go back to Ryuchi Cave and gain Aoda's respect to grant summonings and summon Aoda. Heading back to the Leaf Village now, Gaara notices that parts of Konoha are getting blown to bits in the distance. Rushing to the Leaf Village, Naruto and Team 7, now including Sakura and Sai, come back from a recent mission to help. So this is actually with Yamato as the team leader, and Sasuke is gone. So now in this version of events, Deidara would attack the Leaf in search of Gaara, and during this attack, Gaara and Team 7 would meet up with the rest of Team 8. Team 7 would leave to finish Sasori, who was doing his own fair share of damage to the village. Hinata and Gaara would try to fight Deidara with taijutsu for some time, with Gaara using sand platforms to carry themselves to Deidara's C2 height to use chakra blades and gentle fist. Sorry, I've been talking for a while now, like non-stop. And this is like pretty much unedited, by the way. The only thing I've done is stop the recording to talk again, so yeah. But they're unable to hit Deidara at this time, who is way more experienced than them at fighting in the air. Finally, going back down to the ground to gain some rest time and chakra, Deidara throws down some clay bombs while Gaara tries to protect his comrades. Kiba lets his ego get to him while trying to fight Deidara one-on-one, but when Kiba is about to get killed by a C3 bomb, Kurenai catches him and runs away. This leads to Deidara leaving and using C4 in a section of Konoha, effectively killing a bunch of people in that section. Gaara is going to start using his Sharingan to predict Deidara's movements and run with Kurenai and Kiba to track him, while Hinata uses her Byakugan to clear out the clay bombs that are planted throughout the city and try to mitigate any damage, civilian casualties. chasing Deidara outside of the village now, Gaara cuts Deidara off, allowing Kurenai to catch up. And Deidara and Kurenai are going to have a little tiny scrap one-on-one with ninja tools for a while. And then Kiba and Gaara are going to go into a standoff, with Kiba finally acting much more calm, allowing Gaara to protect him with the sand way easier. Gaara would overwhelm Deidara with sand attacks while Kiba digs a tunnel with his tunneling fang technique. The tunnel is gonna lead underground where Deidara is fighting, and once Kiba breaks out underneath the ground right from where Deidara is, Gaara is gonna stop attacking, allowing Kiba and Akamaru to pop their military rations pills and use fang over fang against Deidara, trapping him inside of the tunnel now, falling down where Gaara seals off the holes, leaving them all trapped underground, Kurenai included. Kurenai is going to use her signature move, Demonic Illusion, Tree Binding Death, but Deidara is actually going to break out of the Genjutsu before the full tree forms, and he's going to use his CO form and blow himself up. Gaara tries his best to protect the team, but they all end up in the hospital. But Gaara heals much more quickly due to Shukaku than Kiba, Akamaru, and Kurenai, but they do all live. Hinata visits them in the hospital with Naruto and Kakashi. Kiba no longer uses Akamaru in battles, as he's getting old, and Akamaru barely survived, rather opting to fight with Akemaru, Akamaru's son, the red puppy, who usually doesn't show up until Boruto, but this is a what if, so we're just gonna say fuck the timeline. And the dogs' names are very similar, Akamaru, Akemaru, so I'm just gonna call them Akamaru 1 and Akamaru 2. I hope you guys know which ones I'm talking about. Akamaru 1 is the old puppy, Akamaru 2 is the newer puppy. So, instead of Akamaru 2 staying in the village and helping young ninja like Kiba's son, Akamaru 2 would actually eventually take the job of fighting alongside Kiba, since Akamaru 1 is the weaker dog in this case. Kiba and Akamaru 2 would train with Naruto to learn to infuse multi-shadow clone jutsu into Fang over Fang, via Kiba making Akamaru clones and clones of himself, leading to a more powerful strike, creating a jutsu known as the Fang over Fang Barrage. Akamaru 2 would eventually naturally be more of a feral dog, hence the red coat, similar to normal Akamaru 1's post-military rations pill color, leading to more powerful attacks and more durability. The war arc would remain mostly the same, except Team 8 would be the first to try to stop Kabuto before Itachi and Sasuke, where Kurenai would die, causing Gaara to awaken Mangekyo Sharingan. Gaara's Mangekyo Sharingan ability would be to expel Amaterasu flames from his sand with his right eye, turning the sand into clay bombs with his left eye, which Gaara would use while trying to sand coffin Kabuto. Not only would he turn the sand coffin into a clay bomb coffin, he would use the Amaterasu flames to blow it up. Kabuto, although, would liquefy himself, causing him to regenerate a little bit faster and come back to human form right as Sasuke and Itachi show up. Seeing the person who destroyed his clan again, at first, Gaara wanted to fight Itachi, not knowing this was Edo Tensei Itachi, until he gets stopped by Sasuke, who explained it to Gaara. So, after effectively ending Kabuto's Edo Tensei, Sasuke and Gaara go back to the war, where Gaara gets Kurama Chakra and just a bit of 6-path chakra from Naruto and Sasuke, enough to awaken Rinnegan. This would allow him access to a new few things. Obviously, he'd get 6-path jutsu, seeing invisible barriers and all chakra flow. These are fucking simple Rinnegan abilities. He would get his own special ability to send people to Limbo Dimension through portals Gaara creates on the surface of his sand. He would be able to access space-time ninjutsu, and I don't really see a need to make him any more OP than that to finish the Shippuden arc. Gaara would fight with Madara after Obito dies. Naruto would cloak DMS Kakashi's Susanoo with Kurama, allowing him to fight longer, using less of Kakashi's own chakra, while Gaara asked the sand villagers who arrived to summon as much sand as they can, while Gaara manipulates the sand to protect Kakashi and Naruto and the Susanoo. And Sasuke is going to try to use Chibaku Tensei on Kaguya. Although Kaguya almost gets trapped in it, she forces everyone, including Trash, into chasing Kaguya to the 6 dimensions that Kaguya runs through. Kakashi is going to stay behind due to exhaustion from using his Susanoo. Gaara and Sasuke activate a fused Susanoo that Naruto once again cloaks with Kurama Chakra to create a super Amaterasu Indra arrow, which causes Kaguya to go into enough shock for Sasuke to come above and hit Kaguya with a good strike to the head with all the power she has. And Sasuke is going to drop a portal back to the outskirts of Konoha that Kaguya falls into, where they seal her into the moon. And this is basically ending the Shippuden arc. So, hope you guys enjoyed the What If. Let me know if you guys want to see more ideas. If you got any ideas in the comments, let me know. These scripts take a long time for me to make, so expect me to fucking take a while to make the script. I've been making videos like pretty fucking fast recently, especially these What Ifs. I've been cranking them out because they've been doing decently well. So yeah, so have a good day, boys, and peace the fuck out.